welcome everyone to another episode of the Who Are You to Lead Anyway podcast. I am your host, Cynthia Jamison, leadership and life coach. And today we're delving into a topic that lies at the heart of effective leadership, building internal safety and security. Now, I have seen time and time again in my coaching practice how so many of us lean heavily on external sources for a sense of safety, only to find ourselves caught in a cycle of stress and fear and uncertainty. And today I want to explore how to shift that focus inward and create a foundation that is solid like a rock within. Now, I recently worked with a client who, like many of us, placed so much emphasis on external factors for their sense of security. They've experienced multiple restructurings in the workplace, and it had really shaken their confidence. And so we explored what they were certain of within themselves. For them, answering this question that I had asked them changed their entire perspective, not just about their career, but about themselves and the world around them. Now, by pressing rewind on their experience, they were able to identify how they'd navigated uncertainty before, and this created a sense of empowerment within them that if the worst case happened, which in this case was losing their job, that they would be able to find another role. Now, of course, some of the things may be different from a compensation or a benefits perspective, etc. However, it was no longer the end of the world for them. And the sense of relief that they felt was palpable. They even explored what alternate work as a consultant would or could look like, given their particular skill sets and expertise, which they had plenty of. And so I want to talk just a little bit about creating internal boundaries, because in my experience, the key to building internal safety lies in creating internal boundaries. Now, this involves things like keeping promises that you make to yourself, staying consistent with your goals, and practicing healthy detachment from worries and fears. It's about acknowledging that within ourselves, we are creative, resourceful, and whole human beings. We do have the answers within us. It's about finding that place within yourself where you're able to decide for yourself what it is that you think, what it is that you feel about you and what you're doing. Really, it's about having your own back, even if someone else disagrees with you. Now, this doesn't mean that you might not want advice or opinions or perspectives from other people. Of course, you might. However, it does mean that ultimately you are the individual that is deciding for yourself based on your own reasons versus giving that power away to something or someone external to you. In addition to this, something else that I do with clients that you might want to consider is deciding whose opinions, whose advice, whose feedback that you truly want, that you truly value, and that you trust. Because here's the key. If you decide this ahead of time, it really makes such a significant difference for you, because you already know, most people have an opinion of some sort, and not all of the people have your best interests at heart. So it's important that above all else that you do, that you are taking care of you, that you have your best interest at heart. So I would invite you to think of this exercise as choosing your own personal board of directors, if you will, and you may or may not tell them that they're on it. Like, it's totally up to you. But the point is that you get to decide who the members are that are on your personal board of director. So I want to offer just a little bit of a personal reflection, because I can absolutely attest to this journey personally. There were so many aspects of myself that I used to dislike, but through self-acceptance and self-compassion, I have learned to embrace my strengths and weaknesses with less self-judgment. It doesn't mean that I don't judge myself, because of course I still have a brain and it still serves me up some of those shitty thoughts. However, it really has transformed my relationship with myself. And this empathy for my past self has become a really powerful tool in my coaching practice for myself as well as my clients. So, what would be an example that I could offer you here? So, when I first started this podcast, every time that I was hearing, we were putting the music together and putting the episodes together, and I was like, just stop. I don't want to hear my voice. It's terrible. It's awful. I don't like it. Then I was like, okay, but I can't change my voice. And so now, along with you every Tuesday morning, I also listen to my podcast episodes, and I actually like my voice. And not only that, because I have so much acceptance for the fact that this is who I am, and there are some things that I will do well, there will some things that I will not do well. I'm going to make some mistakes, and that's okay. I don't have to beat myself up. So, part of my own journey is to continue fostering the internal dialogue that goes on within my own mind and reminding myself that I am the expert, I am the authority on me, just as you are the expert and the authority on you. And so, as I mentioned, someone else's advice, opinion, and feedback, while it might be valuable, ultimately they are speaking from their lens, their experience, their journey. It's not good or bad. I'm not saying it not to consider it. I'm just suggesting take it through your own discernment and contemplate what is good for you out of what they've said. So, this brings me to identifying core values. And I think I'm always going to be talking about this because it's so crucial for everything. But identifying core values is a crucial step to building safety and security within. It helps us understand that what truly matters to you and provides a compass or a lens for decision making. Now, I'm not sure if I've talked about this on the podcast, but it might be helpful for you to know how I use my own values. So, one of my values, I actually say it's my top value, is leadership. And how I've defined it for myself is I act as a lighthouse. I provide light, hope, and safety for others to find their way. As direction is illuminated, decisions are made to stand up and step out with confidence. Now, if you know me or if you work with me, this might not surprise you in hearing it because hopefully you've experienced that from me. And how I lean in and how I live in this value is even when it's uncomfortable, I put myself out there. And I got to tell you, sometimes it is freaking uncomfortable. So, for example, creating this podcast, keeping the promise to myself to do this for an entire year before I reassess if I keep putting my work and my voice out there every week, I decided for myself that I was going to do this for an entire year. So, a little side note here, because for those of you who've been with me since January of 2023, I did a leadership summer camp challenge where for 15 days, I created a short podcast episode with a topic for each day and an actionable way to implement it and evaluate it in less than 5 minutes. And as a result, this is episode 60 today. And we won't hit a year until January, I think it's January 22nd, 2024. But the point is, the day that I recorded episode 2, I have to be completely honest with you, I had the thought, I was like, I can stop now. And technically, I could have. And I knew that within myself that I would have been so disappointed with myself because even though I created 52 episodes, it wasn't a year. So I decided to keep going, to keep showing up for you, and to keep giving you value. So this is an example of keeping a promise to myself, an example of having my own back, an example of regardless of what happens externally to me, if I receive your feedback, if I don't receive your feedback, if I get feedback that is good or bad or constructive or not, it doesn't matter. I decided to keep going, and so I committed to that. So, this brings me to another aspect that I believe is super important in building internal safety and security, which is emotional resilience. There are many benefits from stress and coping strategies, mental fitness routines, mindfulness, meditation, physical activity, etc., that go into our daily lives. And these practices not only fortify our mental well-being, but also act as armor against the uncertainties of life that are out there. And when we prioritize these practices for ourselves, we build feelings of safety and security in facing those challenges. And in doing so, we help our own self-esteem, our self-confidence, and our feelings of inner peace. All of these things are connected together. And if you're looking for episodes about mental fitness, etc., you can Google that within the podcast because I've done episodes on this before. I've talked about this before. Now, all of this, of course, culminates in challenging automatic and negative thoughts. Now, I want to call these ants. And this is not my idea. I heard this metaphor recently somewhere. But to be successful in this work, we must learn to challenge automatic negative thoughts, the ants. And just like the acronym suggests, those ants infest our minds with thoughts that create negative feelings of anxiety, worry, frustration within ourselves that we're not enough in some way. We're not talented enough, creative enough, capable enough. We don't know enough, or we're not worthy of what it is that we want for ourselves. What I'd offer here is question the validity of these ants and replace them with more empowering thoughts or affirmations. We change not only our mindset in doing this, but the entire experience that we are having. We can feel frustrated and worried and all of those negative emotions, or we can really challenge ourselves and learn how to create an entirely different experience for ourselves. Now, listen, I promise you, if you want to build inner safety and security for yourself and you choose to create a consistent practice based on what I've mentioned here alone, it will help you become solid like a rock within yourself. And even though those external storms will always happen, you will become less shaken by them over time. It takes practice. Now, I think it was Robin Sharma who said, investing in yourself is the best investment that you will ever make. I know it's true for me. It will not only improve your life, it will improve the lives of all of those around you. Now, if you are ready to expand your growth in 2024 beyond the podcast, which, by the way, is pretty awesome. Thank you for your feedback. I know that you're loving it. So if you are ready to expand your growth in 2024 beyond the podcast, which is pretty awesome, thank you for your feedback. I want to remind you the focus of the Leadership Lens Lifetime Access Coaching Program is founded on 4 keys to strong leadership that I've identified. First, understand and trust your unique leadership style. Second, master your internal world so that you can face challenges more clearly. Third, map out growth for you and your team with a practical plan. 4, develop your own leadership lens to guide you for years to come. This program is ideal for leaders ready to embrace their choices and seeking depth, not quick fixes. And it's priced at $2,500 USD. Payment plans are available, or $2,000 USD upfront. And again, lifetime access weekly group coaching. Why is it lifetime? Because leadership never ends. That's just the quick answer. Now, listen, your best investment for 2024 awaits. Join us now through the link in the show notes. And if you refer someone else, a friend, a colleague, you will receive a free one-on-one with me. And just so you know, the removal of the application process is in progress for a smoother experience. So if you have any questions, feel free to just shoot me a DM and we'll book a call to answer any questions that you have about the program, if it's a right fit for you, whatever is on your mind. And I want to thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I want to leave you with this thought. Your strength and stability come from within, and that you can always count on. So as I wrap this up, I hope you found this valuable, and until next week, lead with authenticity and embrace the solid rock within you. Goodbye. Hey there, it's Cynthia. Thanks Thanks for being a part of the Who Are You to Lead Anyway journey. Join my newsletter for exclusive updates and resources. Get a complimentary self-discovery workbook at www.cynthiajamisoncoach.ca. Your feedback shapes this show, so share your thoughts. And if you love the podcast, help spread the word. Thanks for investing in your leadership growth. Let's thrive together.